This is a work of art. This is bullshit. This is a work of art. This is bullshit. This is a work of art. But this is bullshit.
Well, dagnabbit, we're having ourselves a labor shortage. Are you referring to the fact that we've lost nearly 1 million people due to COVID in the United States alone? People who had lives outside of being employees, how you're now blithely referring to as if Subway just ran out of that cheesy bread? Yeah, totally. Yep, that's what we meant. Well, have you considered making your company a good place for current and future employees to work at? Maybe giving them a living wage, making sure their work conditions are reasonable, not overworking them to the point of chronic burnout. At absolute bare minimum, making sure it's a safe place to work during a pandemic. CDC, can you help us out? Yeah, you can come back to work now even if you have COVID still. So yeah, come back to work now even if you have COVID still. Well, shooey, that sounds like a lot of bullshit. I can't work like that. I quit.
The ocean. Hey, can we go on land? No. Why? The sun is a deadly laser. Oh, okay. Not anymore, there's a blanket.
You must be swift as a coursing river, with all the force of a great typhoon, with all the strength of a raging fire, mysterious as the dark side of the moon.
Club bangers, but it's just really depressing statistics.
The U.S. military budget, how much? $750 billion per year. Oh no! It will cost only $20 billion to end homelessness. Yeah. America hates homeless people. Come on, y'all. America hates homeless people.
And so on and so forth. Some of you may die, but it's a sacrifice I am willing to make.
Go ahead and tell everybody I'm the man, I'm the man, I'm the man. Yes I am, yes I am, yes I am. Go ahead and tell everybody.
Okay, not so fun fact for those of you who don't know this, but when you're born disabled in the US, you're not actually allowed to qualify for full disability. Their reasoning is because you never worked enough hours because you were born disabled. So instead what they have you do is they have you wait many, many years, only getting half payment, known as SSI. And every 2 years you have to have an assessment to prove that you're still disabled. And if you do this for long enough, then you may be considered to qualify for full disability. But if you're born disabled in this country, you're pretty much just screwed. They don't care. Many of us live 3 times below the federal poverty line because they simply don't care.
You ever wonder why we use the word Caucasian to describe white people? Well, sit back, relax, I'm about to ruin your day. It all started with a racist pseudoscience called phrenology, which looked at different bumps and volumes of skulls to try to prove that white people are superior to especially Black and Indigenous folks. Obviously, everything has been disproven. So in comes this guy, Blumenbach, who was renowned in the field of phrenology. During his studies, he fell in love with one of his skulls. Yeah. But he was horrified when he realized that the skull that he fell in love with did not belong to a white lady, but rather a woman from the Caucasus region of Asia. So in order for him to justify his love for a skull that didn't belong to a white woman, he made the grand proclamation that people from the Caucasus region of Asia can actually be clumped in with white people, and they're all superior together. So yeah, we use the word Caucasian all because a racist pseudoscientist wanted to fuck a skull.
Only take dumps on company time. Be a man.
Morning, bad news. The United States Senate is a corrupt, anti-democratic, obstructionist, and failed institution whose only purpose is to kill good ideas when those ideas threaten billionaires and corporations. The Senate was originally created to keep power in the hands of rich white male landowners during the establishment of popular democracy in the United States, and the Senate should have been abolished in 1820 when it became a deliberate compromise on preserving slavery. But instead, it's been elevated as the most powerful institution in American government and is directly responsible for this country's current political, social, and economic failures. The Senate has no place in our legislative system and should be abolished as soon as humanly possible. In fact, most other countries that have grappled with the failures of similarly powerful political aristocracies tend to reduce them to ceremonial roles that don't have any real power, like the House of Lords in the United Kingdom. But in the United States, our rich white elderly cabal of power brokers have unlimited minority veto power over efforts to reform institutional failures. The Senate is the reason we can't pass voting protections, marijuana legalization, universal healthcare, student loan debt forgiveness, a minimum wage increase, or any other ideas that if offered as a vote to the American people would pass with nearly unanimous support. Even the Senate itself isn't ruled by its own majority. As we've repeatedly seen, the filibuster rule means that 40% of senators can single-handedly kill popular legislation.
So not only did Kellogg's basically fire all of its workers that were going on strike, but Kellogg's is also removing its logos from some of its products to trick you into still buying them in response to the boycott. So the higher-ups in Kellogg's are not going to listen to the people that literally run their business and that ensure that they can churn out these products. They're going to get rid of them right around the holiday season and just not care. And to further prove how much they don't care, they're also going to remove the labels from the boxes to try to trick the rest of you into continue to buy their products. If you don't see how evil and despicable this is, you are the problem. Now, I'm sure that there's going to be people with no capital and no deed to the factory that are going to be coming in my comment section and are going to be defending Kellogg or making responses to this video just so you know that if you defend this corporation and what it's doing in any way, shape, or form, you are evil. You are despicable.
Steven Crowder is a desperate right-wing shill who ambushes unsuspecting college freshmen with his debate team quasi-regional champion cue cards while being deathly afraid of anyone with actual knowledge. He tries exceedingly hard to be a comedian by making fun of people based on race, sexuality, gender, and religion, plagiarizing most of his content from middle school bathroom walls. There's this classic "socialism is for figs" t-shirt that he claims is not homophobic, and him calling Carlos Maza, a gay man, a lispy queer. In one of his Louder with Crowder episodes that got him temporarily booted from YouTube, he and his henchmen, I think they're henchmen, well, they did a segment making fun of Asian people with stereotypes plagiarized from, I don't even know when, middle school bathroom walls from the 1880s, that one Dr. Seuss book. Fun stuff, Steven. Glad you're doing better. Listen, I probably don't need to sell you on the fact that Steven Crowder is one of them racists. I'm sure his excuse is that his comedy is edgy and we're all snowflakes for not laughing at his funny jokes. But if you're not the walking personification of a Call of Duty chat, you probably already see right through this. You might even know that Steven Crowder actually started his career as a stand-up comedian and was, what's the word?
Of course, I grew up in a high school which was largely Middle Eastern, so you get these Arab thugs. They can't pull off the thug look. They'd be like, "Oh, you know what? I am going to mess you up hardcore." Check out the turban, white boy. I wear my nut on the left side. Yes, that's the crip side.
Bad. That was the word. Steven Crowder was a bad comedian, and still is a bad comedian, and even then, a racist one. A racist, bad comedian. And a bad racist comedian? Like, he can't even do the racism correctly. Arabs don't have whatever weird fake Indian or Pakistani accent Crowder is trying to do, and turbans aren't typically an Arab thing. And yet, he liked this bit so much, he did it again at TCon Midwest in 2011.
Of course, I grew up in a high school which was largely Middle Eastern, so you'd get these Middle Eastern wannabe thugs. You're nice people, but you can't pull off the thug look. Like, oh, you know what? I am going to mess you up hardcore.
And if you watch just a little bit more, you'll see the actual point of his whole shtick and what people actually want from him.
That's gonna get a comment at Media Matters.
That's the big laugh. Not the joke part, but the part where he points out that other people will be mad that he did a racist joke.
USSR bad is Cold War capitalist propaganda.
So USSR good?
Absolutely right, sir. Anime bitches, I look at her titties, then I take her.
Almost all your taxes go to military installations on foreign bases, 800 of them, but no other country has a military base in America, cause it's a fear tactic, it's a fear tactic. We are a fascist police state. Fascist police state, wasting your money. It could go to education or making millions of jobs, upgrading our energy grid. But nope, no. We are a fascist police state. Fascist police state.